Everybody, here we are at number 5 of the 5 key concepts. Now, when I've numbered these, I haven't tried to put them in a hierarchy. Number 1's not more important than number 5. They're all sort of co-equal. They're just 5 concepts. I played with giving them names from like U.S. strategic operations or some other modifier, but I thought that would be more confusing than just numbering one through 5, so we could talk about them by number in addition to name, but not a value judgment. So this is number 5, but it's not the least important. This is a negative and a positive piece, looking at the different way you can shape a piece that achieves different ends. Now, throughout most of history, and I think something we can agree with is that peace is indicated by the absence of conflict. So if there's no active conflict, no interstate conflict, if you feel free from the threat of violence from an out-of-state actor, that you're in a situation where you could say there's peace. This is called a negative peace. And what you're talking about here is not whether it's good or not, but whether it's represented by the presence of something positive or the absence of something negative. So a negative peace is measuring it based on the absence of violence. And a positive peace is measuring something based on the aggregate attitudes, structures, institutions, approaches, peace treaties that don't overly punish the losing side. That would measure the peace on the presence of positive values. And you'll see that as you go through the 20th century into the 21st century, the tendency is to have a situation where a victor no longer is punitive against the defeated in the way in which it is before. And that shapes how war and peace and diplomacy is conducted. Some fascinating things, like when we get to World War II, you'll see that on the diplomatic end, that already by 1941-42, way before the war ends in 1945, the Allied powers are already talking about the diplomatic approach to the post-war era. They don't wait. They're talking about what structures they want to do and what do they want to avoid. They want to avoid overly punishing Germany in the way that they overly punished Germany during World War I, when there was a negative peace established that helped lead to World War II in ways in which we'll see. Positive versus negative peace. So that means we're going to emphasize some things in this diplomacy class that are on the peace end, on the diplomatic end, that is, for example, the structure that comes through the United Nations, that sets up a series of diplomatic relationships that helps ensure a positive peace. So not just the absence of war, but the presence of something good. Negative versus a positive peace.